Hello, friends. Happy Saturday. Welcome to the stream. Woo. Coffee hasn't kicked in yet, and it's 1:30. Hello, friends. Welcome to Yield Stream. What is everybody going to be working on or doing today? I don't know what I'm going to be doing today, to be entirely honest with y'all, because I don't have any more of the any more of my June challenge to do because that's done. That book is the draft is completed and with beta readers. But I guess I could work on Project Dragon. I haven't worked on this in like over a month though, so we're gonna see how that goes. Probably gonna involve me reading a lot, or I also could plan the next book in my series, my companion series that I want to write. Who knows? Who knows what we're gonna get up to today? You guys let me know what y'all are gonna be working on. Hello, Kian. Welcome to the stream. That's all right. If you need to leave early, that's okay. I've been feeling miserably. Hey, the best thing about Camp Nano is that you're setting your own goals. So there's no way to fail at it because you're just setting your own goals. No way to fail at it. As long as you're doing work on it, it's better than nothing. Hello, Anna. Welcome to the stream. Yes, I don't know. I think probably in this first sprint, I'm going to be working on at least reading through Project Dragon to see where we're at because it's been a while. I want to see if I get any inspiration as to what I want to work on. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Who's to say? And which of the point of views I want to work on today, because I haven't really worked on Project Dragon in a while, which is fine. It was one of those things that because it's such a large epic fantasy, I've lost a little bit of the love for it, which is fine. That happens in fantasies when you have to work on it for a long, long time. Because I've been working on it since January-ish, and I just needed a break in June. So maybe I'll find it again. Maybe I'll find my rhythm. Who's to say? Not me. Anyways. But yes, how's everybody's Saturday day going? You guys tell me. Mine's going okay so far. Not a whole lot going on. Gonna be reading this weekend, as I usually am. I was reading before this as well. I have plans to get through too many books this weekend, so hopefully I can get through at least, excuse me, at least one more. Because I finished one yesterday, so we shall see how that goes. It's a tickle in my throat. A tickle in my throat. Just throwing this up on socials, telling people to join us. Okay. Anna is finishing a reader report. What is that? Is that for school or something? Or is that a school's done? Unless you're doing summer courses. What is that? A reader report? That's intriguing. I don't know what that is. That's intriguing to me. What is that? A reader report? Is that like a review or something? Or book report? Oh, you're doing like a beta reading editing thing. That makes sense. You're like a proofreader. Cool. Very cool. That's really neat. I have a couple betas currently reading my Project Second Story, which is exciting. Although two of them who have started it, and one of them who has already finished. They both, because I always send it in a Google Doc. So whenever they make comments in a Google Doc, I get emails periodically with their comments. So I was watching through them, both of them read the beginning, and both of them were saying the same thing. So I know what I have to work on with that one, but I'm not going to let myself work on it until July when I have all of my beta reader feedback. Because I can't do that. I can't start writing the second draft and then get comments. Working on Cat Mano. Feel a little stuck. If you feel a little stuck, maybe something's going wrong in the story. I always think, in my case at least, I always say that whenever I feel like writer's block or something's not working, I just either need to take a break or something went wrong. And I got to go back to when it was flowing. And then I got to go from there, figure out what went wrong, and then try something else. That's usually how I do. But I also am a weird writer where I need an ending to be able to go anywhere. I also need to plan out everything. So as long as I have something planned, I know where I'm going and I know what needs to be written. So I don't know if any of that helps. Hopefully today you get some work done. Speaking of, let me get my D&D dice. Get my my Dungeon Master dice. I need a D20. Another D20. Where's my other D20? There you go. Okay. We'll do some D20 sprints. Well, thanks, Kian. I'm glad you liked it. I always like watching other people's writing vlogs for motivation because whenever I watch someone actively writing, I'm like, I should be writing. I should be doing that. So I'm going to write. Whoop! That was an incredibly good roll. Damn. All right, guys. For our first sprint, we can do a 20-minute sprint. I rolled a nat 20. That's awesome. We can do a nat 20 sprint. Yeah. See, winging it, you always end up losing momentum. So you need to have a little bit of like a structure of like where you're going. You need to at least know what your end goal is, in my opinion. And I know, like, I had a conversation with Amy Prokopis about this a little while ago, who is awesome. She's really cool. She's an author tuber and an author and all that kind of stuff. And I had a conversation with her this week, actually, about outlining and pantsing, plotting, that whole thing. And it was really interesting because she considers herself a pantser, but that has evolved into something that needs structure. And I think that as you become more experienced with your writing and actually start, considering publishing or getting into the publishing world, I've seen a lot of authors, traditionally authors, who have turned into plotters in some kind of a way because they need to write synopses for their publishers. They need to know what's happening because they also need to write on deadline, right? So they're writing in a strict amount of time. So they need to have their story mapped out so they can get it done faster. So I think that's also like what I found with my writing is I used to be a like discovery kind of a writer when I was like a kid. I would just let the words do whatever they wanted. And now I am such a plotter that I cannot start writing until I have a strict outline. Strict, i.e., whether that is following the Save the Cat beat sheet or recently it's just been kind of like plotting scene by scene kind of a thing, just so I know the trajectory of the story. And even then, sometimes it's like I know up to a certain point, and then all these scenes after this, like I know this has to happen, but I don't know what the breakdown is. Sometimes like that, but I need an ending so that I always have an end goal in mind. But yeah. Maybe try to figure out where you want to end this story. Maybe that'll help. 20 minutes. All righty. Let me get this timer set up. I'm going to be using a Pomodoro timer today. We're going to see how it works. We're going to be doing 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Look at this little tomato guy. Isn't he cute? I love him. He's so cute. Yeah, like even if it's just a question of like where do I want my character to end up at the end of this, or like what kind of stuff you want to go through, right? Just asking yourself little questions like that. Like what is I always like to have a image in my head of a final scene before I actually like sit down and write. So it's always fun. It's always fun to kind of do that kind of stuff. Anyways, my friends, we're gonna do this cute little tomato guy. I love him. He's so cute. We're gonna do this for the first sprint. I don't know what the sound of the timer is, so we'll just have to see in 20 minutes what happens. But all right, my friends, good luck. I will see you in 20 minutes. Let's sprint. If it's there it goes. was a lovely sound. That was a lovely sound. Wow, okay. Hello, friends. That was the end of our first sprint. How did we do? How are we feeling? Hello, Iona. Welcome back to my streams. You had exams. I hope they went well. And now that you're enjoying a little bit of time off, now that classes are done, I think. It's July. They should be. Unless you're doing summer courses, of course, but alas. How did we do? Why did I shut my computer? I am sitting at, I added 194 words today for that sprint. Just rereading through a chapter, which is exciting. I'm back. I'm getting the vibe of Project Dragon again, which is nice. But I think I'm just going to consider keep sitting in Project Dragon for today. I don't have any ideas really for my next book in my Arrowmount book series, which is what Project Second Story was in, the first one. I mean, I have an idea, and I think I know which character I'm going to write about next, or characters. I just don't know what kind of plot I'm going to do. I got to actually sit down and brainstorm a little bit, but for now, it's going to be between, I think it's going to be the Bard and the Art Thief. I'm going to introduce an Art Thief to this scene, and it's going to be not only a coming into Arrowmount and then falling in love, but it's going to be also a sister story, because the Art Thief's sister lives in Arrowmount. It's going to be good, I think. It's going to be soft and sweet and low stakes, but fun either way. And it's going to be exciting because both of my characters are not human in this story. The Bard is a half orc, I think. Half orc or a full orc? I think I said half orc in the original draft. And she's a bard who works in the town, and she also works at the Old and Narrow bar. And then the Art Thief is a Earth Genasi or Genasi, or however you say it, which is very exciting. Very exciting. Earth Genasi. Gonna be fun to play with that, but for now, I'm going to be working in Project Dragon, and I think I'm going to be working with my little 9-year-old seer girl, because I haven't really touched her chapters in a while. So, and I only have 2 chapters written from her point of view, so I kind of want to see where her story goes from here. I know where it goes. I have it brainstormed and figured out, but I need to actually map it a little bit. I need to map it out a little bit. But yes, you guys tell me how that sprint went. Also, I know Kian is participating in Camp Nano, but is anyone else here participating in Camp Nano? I'm not, because I did my June challenge, which was enough writing for me for a while. So I took a break from it up until now, for the 25th to now. So 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's about, I don't know, almost 15 days of a break, which is pretty good. 2 weeks, 2-week break from writing, which is good. I'm excited to get back into the writing flow, though, because summer is a time when I have time to write. I'll say this thing on my screen, because especially this past year, I worked 50 plus hours a week with my 2 jobs that I had. So now that I only really have the 1 job, and then 1 night a week I teach summer teaching for piano, I have much more time to, just have my evenings to myself and do stuff. So I want to get back into some kind of a writing mood that I can get work done during the evenings, so that I can set up a little bit of a routine for myself, because routines are hard and I haven't had a proper routine in a long time. So, You just keep trying. That's all you can do in life. Just keep trying. Anyways, I'm going to roll for our next sprint. Just to get it all set up. Ooh, that was a 7, a 10. I moved everything once it rolled. And another 7. So that is 17, 25 minutes. A 25-minute sprint for our next one. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to get that set up. Yeah, if you guys have anything you want to ask me, you feel free to ask me in the chat. Or if you have anything you want to talk about, feel free to shoot it my way. Get a little tomato guy opening. Tomato guy. Our little tomato guy. Yeah, I'm actually curious to our little bit of a conversation before the first sprint. I know Kian said that they were a pantser, but how do you guys plot out your stuff when you write? Or do you let the story just tell you what's going on? Are you a pantser? Or somewhere in between? I've become a complete and total plotter. I used to be a pantser, and then I developed into a plantser, which is like a sort of outline and then letting myself discovery right as I go. But now I need a very strict outline, which is good because it is also a way of making sure that the story moves properly as I'm writing, because it follows that like beats and it hits the beats as you go. So I know going into a second draft that there's going to be less developmental writing stuff because I know that the plot is going to be fine because I made the plot already. Whether or not it's like the moments are good, and if I want to keep those, then that's a thing that I do in my development writing stage. Yeah, I'm always curious as to how people write. I'm very intrigued. I'm very intrigued. So if you want to share, feel free. Feel free. I always like it when you guys chat with me in the bar. I like it. It feels like I'm not just talking to myself. It feels like I'm not just talking to myself, you know. Nice. Goodness, these dice match this book sleeve almost perfectly. That's wild. I picked out some of my DM dice, which are just like, where are we here? These little babies. Some pretty DM dice. And then the book sleeve that I'm rolling them on is like this Peter Pan one from Always September. And they match almost perfectly. Oh, interesting. See, I love when I get ideas, I have like a very specific way that I can start writing. As I said earlier, I need to know an ending before I start writing. So when I get an idea, it like pops into my brain all shiny and new. But usually an idea is not enough. So I write the idea down just so that I don't lose it, because my memory is also absolutely terrible, and I will lose the thought if I don't write it down. And then I let it like incubate and percolate like a good cup of coffee in my head. And sometimes, like with Project Dragon, for example, I had the idea for so long. Like since I watched the movie How to Train Your Dragon, when it first was introduced to me. I don't think it was when it first came out. I think it was when the second movie was coming out. I first heard of it because I was babysitting some kids, and we watched the movie together, and it immediately, I was like, this is my favorite movie of all time. Oh God. And immediately I was like, I want to write a dragon story. So whenever that was, back when I was in high school, I had that idea in my head. I wanted to write a story about dragons in a world where this community they were in ended up being like, you know, protecting the dragons rather than fighting them, because so many stories have dragons being fought, and even D&D and Dungeons and Dragons, you fight dragons a lot. But I love dragons. So I'm like, no, what if the creatures loved each other and loved humans too? Like, I just want everyone to be kind. So I had that idea in my head for such a long time. And then but I didn't really know what to do with it. I didn't know if I wanted to like literally write a How to Train Your Dragon story where it was like a community of people, you know, who don't like dragons, and then one person likes dragons and changes everyone's mind. or if I wanted to like do something else with it. And then I read Hall of Smoke, and it gave me the idea of what if there was a sanctuary up high in the mountains somewhere that dragons were safe and were kept safe by these specific people who like took care of them. And then that spawned Project Dragon. And my brain has just kept going from there. So the whenever I get like a nest egg of an idea, it's never enough for a full story. It might be enough for an opening scene. It might be enough for a character or a moment or a piece of world building, something like that. But I find it interesting that you dread planning, because planning is my favorite part of it. Is my favorite part of writing. I love the planning aspect, which is also detrimental because I can get bogged down in the world building life so easily. So easily. Because, oh man, like you in the world building world, where do you stop? You can just keep going forever. So it's always a matter of like figuring out what's important to the story first and then going outwards. But it's easier. I've set up my world in a way that I run D&D campaigns in it as well. So I'm like working in my world all the time, which is nice because then it lets me as the creator sit and be like, okay, what's actually important to this moment right now? Or I let my characters, my players decide where they want to take the story. You know, that was a little bit of a weird rant, but I've been working back in my head for about a year. Woo! You know what? Sometimes songs do that to you though. Like the song, what is it? It's from Amélie, the movie Amélie, which I know is probably not that popular of a movie, but I've watched it a few times just because I was in French immersion growing up, and my French teacher loved it, so she showed it to us a lot. But it's Compton de Notre Dame, which is that like bum, 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 bum. It's very beautiful. It's a very beautiful song. It's awesome, and that song itself, just the tune of it, I have listened to it for so many years. But only recently, a couple years ago, did it actually spawn a story idea in my head, which I love when music does that. Or there's like a specific lyric. There's one song by the band called We Three. It's like a sibling band. And there's the chorus itself has spawned a story idea in my head that I want to eventually write, which is like, what's the lyric? The fighting is done. Nobody's won. It's like they're sitting on two sides of a battlefield. Like I can't remember the exact lyric after that, but it's like they're sitting on two sides of a battlefield and looking at each other, and it's like they know that they are each other's heart, but like everything's ruined in the middle of it. And I'm like, oh my god, what if it was an actual battlefield? That would be so spicy, but it's fine. I love when songs inspire stuff, and planning is always fun for me. Planning is like it, which is I guess why I love being a dungeon master for D&D. Oh, so good. Anyways, oh, I love these chats. We should get to the second sprint, shouldn't we? Nope, that one. All right, my friends, we're gonna start the second sprint. I wish you all the best. 25 minutes. We're gonna go for it, and we're gonna sprint. I'll see you in 25 minutes. My goodness, that Pomodoro timer is so quiet. Oh, but I love it. It's like a soft chime. Oh my goodness. I've been watching a lot of reading sprints recently, and most of them use the kitty Pomodoro timer, I think it's called. And that cat, every time it meows, freaks me the hell out. It is so loud, and it sounds like a cat in your place, and I'm like, I don't have a cat in here. Why is there a cat all of a sudden meowing? Anyways, end of our second sprint. How are we feeling? I have added now for the entire stream so far 459 words. So I finished reading through the 2 chapters that I had written for Isolde, and I am now writing another one. Just started, which is exciting. I have a specific song on repeat because I was listening to my Dragons playlist on Spotify, which is a playlist that I have specifically for Project Dragon that I've curated. It's like, movie soundtracks and songs that give me the vibe of, Project Dragon. And this one song, when it came on, it immediately drew me into the scene of Izzy today. So apparently that's just Izzy's song. So I put it on repeat, and it's great. It's great. Excuse me. It is called Plume by Ben Laver. It's good. It's got the perfect vibe for today's writing. Iona drew some scenes. Ooh, we love to see it. We love to see it. I like that you're listening back to your inspiration. Love it. I love it. Yes. Maybe we'll touch on my characters a bit more and how I want the relationship to go. That's really great. That's awesome. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of if you ever find yourself stuck in a story, you almost have to sit back and be like, why? And if it requires a little bit of planning or just sitting with your characters and having a chat with them to be like, yo, what's up? What's going on? What do you want to have happen here? Or, figure out what their trajectory is like you did with the relationship. That's very important because you gotta get there somehow, and then you gotta figure out how you're gonna get there. But that's the joy of writing and planning, in my opinion, is finding out how things work together. But whoop. This is honestly one of the first things I do. I know a lot of people make Pinterest boards for their stories, but I know if I allow myself to do that a lot, I will get really, really bogged down in the Pinterest scrolling. Not to say that I don't have a Pinterest board for every one of my stories. I do allow myself the freedom of scrolling on Pinterest when I'm not supposed to be writing, and just finding the vibes for stuff. But with the Spotify playlists, I just have to. I need to sit and find the vibes so that I can put it into a playlist so that when I do write, I can just put the playlist on and get into the zone. Most of the time, well, with Project Dragon, the Dragon's playlist is literally 12 hours long because at this point when I made this, I was literally all right, we're going to put the entire How to Train Your Dragon soundtrack, the entire Brave soundtrack, the entire Hobbit soundtrack. Let's go. So it's just full album drops into this. And then I think I went and I did that with the Fellowship and some of Two Towers and some of Return of the King. It looks like it's all of it. And then, of course, I went into the Skyrim soundtracks because Skyrim is always the best. Their soundscapes and their songs are so nice to listen to. And then just through finding other beautiful, beautiful songs, you just keep adding them. Yeah, this playlist is 12 hours long, which is so long, but you won't get a repeat song. Heck yeah, make yourself that coffee. You need their coffee to stay. This is a Kleenex to stop condensation from going on my table and leaving a ring. I need to invest and coasters. I just realized that, but yes. Well, I hope you enjoy your work today, Kian. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you have a good working day, a good working Saturday. I'm going to roll these boys. Get us set up for our next sprint. Oh, another nat 20. Oh my God, we love to see it. Okay, so a nat 20 and an 11. So we can either do 31 minutes for our next sprint, or we can do 35 minutes because I rolled a 20, an 11, and then a 4. So you guys let me know what you guys want to sprint for our third sprint. But I always like asking you guys what you like to listen to as you do your writing. A lot of people I know can't listen to anything when they write, or they listen to like the mood of things. The mood of things. So like I know in a previous stream someone said that they listened to like hard like rock or metal music because that was just the mood of their story. And then a lot of people are like, oh, I don't really know. I just like listen to whatever. And I think it depends on the story itself. But I can't usually listen to stuff with words when I'm writing. I used to be able to. I don't know what happened. I like the most recent that I was doing that. I was writing my middle grade. I was listening to a cave town. Not them, but like the radio that Spotify puts together. If you go to an artist, you can make a radio out of it. And that radio I would always listen to for Project Dream when I was drafting it for the first time. But usually classical music does it for me. Or soundscapes. Soundscapes are really fun. I love me some soundscapes. My coffee is an iced coffee. I do the, I don't know. It's the easiest way for me to make iced coffees, where I make like an espresso shot of instant coffee. I boil water and then I like put sugar in it, and I make like an espresso shot of iced of coffee. And then I throw it in some milk and then over ice. I use almond milk because I am very lactose intolerant. But that's usually what I do for my coffees. Easy. Sometimes I add a little bit of cinnamon into the coffee grounds or the instant coffee grounds to make it more decadent. But nobody votes for 35 minutes. How many minutes would you guys like to do for this Pomodoro sprint? Let me get it all set up here. You can either do 35 minutes. You usually watch Netflix. Oh my gosh. I used to do that with essays for school, which is probably not a good idea on my part. I would put like either a movie on. I would put like the first Harry Potter movie on because I've seen that one so many times I can literally quote it word for word. And it's just like background, or like the second movie or whatever. I remember actually sitting at my dining room table at home when I lived with my parents, and I was in the middle of writing one of my essays, and I had the second Harry Potter movie on. And when Molly Weasley is screaming at the boys when they walk back into the burrow after they go get Harry in the car, I was miming the speech. I was miming what she was saying along. My mom walked by on the phone, and she just looks at me and she goes, "You good?" And I'm like, I didn't even notice I was miming the words. I know them so well. But that's what I used to do when I was writing my essays. I'd have that, or like New Girl or Friends or something on Netflix on. That was easy to listen to and not have to pay attention to. I need sound to like ground me in a moment, which is interesting. I asked my therapist about that last week at the end of it. She was like, "We're going to talk about that next time." And I was like, okay. It's like, I always need noise. I always need noise of some kind to keep me, I don't know, grounded, focused. Iona also votes for 35 minutes. All right, so this sprint is going to be longer. We're going to go, our little tomato friend is going to go for watch The Office. Yeah. I love finding shows that I can watch and just put on in the background. Although the one show that usually was that for me was New Girl and Friends. And Netflix has taken both of them off of their platform. So now I just don't have anything on in the background. I think I swapped it out for soundscapes and stuff if I want to like read. and entirely focus myself into it. But yeah, I always have something going on. I always have, if you ever watch my videos, I always have an earphone in my ear. And I constantly forget to take it out to talk to you guys. So I just look like I have this big black earphone in my ear at all times, which is fine. But that's what that is. Yeah. I don't know what it is about Friends. It's such a good show. Anyways, I'm going to stop talking and we're going to get into our third spread. Kian, thank you for hanging out with me. I'll say that now because I know you have to leave for work in a bit, but this has been lovely. Thank you for hanging out in the stream. Alrighty. We're going to get going and we're going to start this 35-minute sprint, my friends. I'll see you in 35 minutes. Sprint. It's such a pleasant sound. I like it. I think I'm going to keep that timer in my pocket. Anyways, friends, all right, that's the end of the third sprint. How are we feeling? How are we doing? I'm going to do one more sprint today. I have written 1,100 words today so far in the sprint. Lovely, lovely. I like being back in this world. It feels like a breath of fresh air working on a new story, you know? Sometimes you need that change. Yes, how did you guys do? How are you guys feeling at the end of that sprint? Please let me know. You're 10% more. I mean, it's like one of my favorite books, so I don't know. I think that book is very polarizing. A lot of V.E. Schwab's books are very polarizing. I find that like people either love them or hate them, which is very interesting to me. But Addie LaRue is my favorite that she's done, and I've read The Near Witch. I've read her 3 middle grades actually, because Gallant is a middle grade, and I've read the Dark Shade of Magic series, and Addie LaRue is my favorite that she's done by far. Her other stuff is just like okay for me, but I am intrigued by whatever else she's going to put out in the Dark Shade of Magic series, because it is a fun series. Nice. Nice, Iona. Very good. You got to start somewhere, right? Very good. But yeah, I am just kind of kicking in Project Dragon World. Project Dragon World. I don't know. Oh, maybe I'll share a little bit of what I've written. Yeah, why not? By the time the evening rolled around and she was able to sit for dinner with the lady, she found herself ravenous once again, having traipsed along the corridors and up and down stairs till her feet hurt. She could almost map the entire house in her mind now just by touch and feel. There were still a few places she had not been able to enter, stuck behind locked doors. My little Isolde. Reading it right now. I mean, the whole book is kind of just one eerie note. There's not a lot that happens, but it is one of my favorite V.E. Schwabs. I think it is my second favorite. It is so atmospheric and creepy. It's very good. One thing with V.E. Schwab is her writing is very flowery, especially in Addie LaRue and Gallant. There's like a twist and a turn to her phrases. Like her words themselves are art instead of rather just like telling the story as it is. I find that some people really don't get along with her writing because of that, and which is valid because it's not a normal way of writing. Watch First Kill. Yeah, I mean she's pretty cool. I enjoy watching their like Instagram stories and stuff. I have yet to watch First Kill, and I don't know if I will because it just feels like another like Vampire Diaries to me, which I think I talked about in a previous stream. Not my kind of show. Maybe one day, who knows? But speaking of shows, I started watching Blind Spot randomly because I wanted to. I absolutely love Critical Role, as you guys know. I love D&D, love Critical Role, love actual play podcasts. But I wanted to watch more of the love of my life, Ashley Johnson, and Ashley Johnson's in the show Blind Spot. So I was like, I'm going to watch Blind Spot and see what it's all about. I'm now on to season 2. And I'm like weirdly addicted to it. Like I don't love the show a whole lot. Like it's a good show, but it's like very drama. And I'm just like enjoying myself. And every time Ashley comes on screen, I'm like, it's my life. I love her. I love her so much. But that is what I'm currently watching. I also have Merlin on the go as well. And I think next I'm going to find... what is it called? Our Flag Means Death? That queer pirate show? I want to find that and watch that because it looks really good. I want to find that. I don't know where I can watch it in Canada. I will have to find it. It's not good, but it's good. No, I know. It's exactly that kind of TV show that's like crack to watch. It's just like addicting, but is it really actually that good? We don't know. Yeah, I mean, like the first season of Blind Spot was really gripping to me, and I don't know if I like where it's going now because I just watched the first episode or the first episode of season 2 last night. I was up too late. And it's an intriguing spot where we're at, but I wish that it had gone more into her tattoos in the first season and like an actual investigation and mapping out her tattoos in a way. But I'm intrigued to see where it goes for 5 seasons because it goes somewhere. It goes somewhere from here. Oh, I love that feeling. I also hate that feeling. I've had that with series that I really like in books and in TV shows where I'm just like, I really want to watch this, but I don't want it to be done. So I stop watching it before it's done, or I stop reading the series before the last book or something. Like I did that with Percy Jackson series growing up. I never read the last book until a couple years ago. And now I've read like all of the PJO books because I've gotten over myself. But a lot of the TV shows, I usually don't watch the last season. Like New Girl is my favorite TV show, but I've never seen the last season of it because of this. I don't want it to be done. And Friends, it took me 5 rewatches to watch the last season because I kept looping back around. I'm like, no, I don't want to watch the end of it. Anyways. All right, my friends. I think I'm going to set up our 4th sprint or our last sprint now. Just because I'm in the writing mood and I kind of want to get back into it. Oh, all right. That one's cocked. So we can either go for 27 minutes or re-roll this one, or 34 minutes. What would you guys like to do? I can't do math. 27 or 34 minutes. What would you guys prefer to do? I'm going to put a dice away. 27 or 34 minutes. For our final sprint of the day. Whoop, we got a vote for 27 and a vote for 34. Anyone going to break that? I will set up Yield Low Pomodoro Timer for our final productivity sprint of the day. What are we saying here? What do we say? We got 1 vote for 27, 1 vote for 34. Iona says either is fine, but we'll wait for one more person to say what time they want to do. It is up to y'all whether you all want to. I mean, 27 minutes is pretty much the same as 34. It's just 5 extra minutes, or however many extra minutes. 8? I don't know. I cannot do math. Oh my god, guys, don't wishy-wash on me. Fine, we will do 34. 34 minutes. I will be the deciding factor. All right, friends, we're going to get into this. Enjoy this last sprint. I will see you in a half hour. Sprint. Why is this not working? Go. There it is. was the end of that last sprint. How are we feeling? Oh, hello, Melissa. Welcome to the stream. I'm glad you could join for at least a little bit of it. Hello, friends. Today, oh wow, I really got into that scene I was in. Ooh, I ended up writing today in total 2,400 words, 2,438 words into Project Dragon. We're back into it. I'm loving it. And I finally have decided on Izzy, is my little girl. I've decided on the prophecy that she's going to see first, which is very exciting because I'm in the middle of it right now of her like seeing it. So we love fantasy. This was lovely. Yes, thank you for coming along, Monica. I hope you enjoy The Invisible Life of Addie Lure a little bit more than you are as you get into it. But if you don't, put it down and move on to something else. It's totally fine. Anyways, my friends, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will hopefully see you guys next weekend, same time, same place, roughly. And enjoy the rest of your weekends. Enjoy your Saturdays. Enjoy whatever else you were going to be doing today. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. Reading and writing, probably. But anyways, friends, I'll see you in another video soon. Bye.